For those of you that watch my paddling videos, you'll know that when I'm paddling solo, most times I'm on a kneeling thwart. And this boat is fitted out with the thwart here. Slightly lowered on wooden drop hangers in this particular case. And what it allows me to do is be much closer to the centre line of the boat, so if I'm solo the front end isn't too high. It also allows me to move around with a great deal of ease within the boat. I can slide my knees over to actually suit what I'm doing together, spread them for stability. And what I've done is I've taken some film from about a year ago when we first outfitted this boat, and with this explanation at the start of it, this is how we fitted the kneeling thwart. Generally this one's going to be used tandem, so this outfitting would be absolutely fine for that. But very occasionally it'd be paddle solo, and without a load, traditionally you would paddle a canoe back to front. So what I would do if I was paddling solo in a traditional setting, I would use this seat but facing that way. This is the bow seat, but I would now use that and face that way. The problem is I'm a long way from the midpoint, so that means that end, without a load, it's going to be flapping around in the air. So what I'm going to do for solo paddling is put in a kneeling thwart, which is an extra piece of wood that's going to go in much closer to the centre. It's going to be put down on some hangers, so it drops down. It'll be lower than this thwart here. Once the kneeling thwart's in, then I can afford to take this one out. This is a real strengthener, but it's going to be in my way. So get the kneeling thwart in, take that one out. But the other thing with this is the way that this particular yoke's being put in. I'm now going to be facing that way on the kneeling thwart, and these two prongs are facing back at me. Now, from past experience, if you stop really quickly, you come down a drop and hit something, I don't really want to hit these. So we're going to take this out, turn it round the other way, makes no difference, it's the midpoint. Then we're going to drill up, put this in. Once this is in, we'll take that out. All right? So quick and easy to turn it around. So putting the kneeling thwart in. This is going to be too far back, it's not going to give me a real advantage. So I want to bring the kneeling thwart forward to somewhere in this region. Now, there's a couple of things, we've already turned that around. If I bring it too far forward, then getting out of the boat in an emergency is not good. So I would give myself a bit more room than that. So going from the back of the yoke, I'm going to go 35 centimetres. And what I'm going to do, let's get that lined up, and I'm going to say that is going to be the forward edge of the kneeling thwart there. So let's leave that mark on for a moment. And then what I'm going to have to do is put some wooden blocks in. They've got holes drilled in, they're going to go in here, and the idea is then that the kneeling thwart will be sloped, rather like those very fancy office chairs, kneeling positions. They're supposed to be so good for your back, but that's going to be sloped. So the forward edge of this, and what I can do is mark on the gunwale the two places that I'm going to drill. So we'll put some holes through there. That's going to hang on some very long bolts. We'll do the same the other side, and then we're going to have to cut this to fit. So that's my drill holes marked on both sides. Let's do the next bit. So I now got some little washers from the top here. That's the first one. And then the moment of truth. And that fits nicely. So we'll do the same on the other side, and then we've got to mark up the needle. What I don't want to do is cut this down too much. Actually put another line on there and mark this is the one I'm going to do, because I can always cut it down a little bit extra. What I can't do is add a bit of wood. Just get a bit of Danish oil on the end there. That's a place that's going to be hard to get to once it's in, so I'll put that little bit of oil there. Hopefully we've got the right width. I can always take a bit more off. Yeah, that's good. Got the width there. Now the slightly awkward bit. In that, to mark these holes, we use these two on the top, but the way this is going to sit, it's the holes on the bottom. Slightly more awkward. So and it's going to get even better than that, in that the bolt holes are going to be angled. So the bolts are coming through and then going through this at an angle, so I'm going to continue that angle downwards. Yeah, and this will give me an idea of which way to drill. With a long enough drill I could go all the way through from the top here, and then I would get a perfect angle. But our drill bit's a bit short, so as long as I've got that pretty well done, that's going to work. Battery's dying. Always a fiddly job getting these nuts on. Now that we've got the kneeling thwart in place, then I can take out this one. So we've got that thwart out. It's left two holes in the gunnels. I can put a little bit of tape over it. I've even seen people find a really nice little circular piece of tape to go on. Doesn't bother me that much. If you've enjoyed this video, please click on the like button. If you'd like to subscribe, please click on the icon in the bottom right corner.